This is one of my favorites. It's really good. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. I hope everybody is doing well. So today I have decided to make a basil coconut curry chicken, and the beauty of this dish is it's so easy and it goes in the slow cooker. So you literally just, it takes 10 minutes to prepare and then you put it in here and then it's done and you have a delicious meal. So I love the slow cooker. This is one of our favorite recipes. We do this once a week, and it's not that expensive to do, and it's just really flavorful. And if you like Indian food or curry or whatever, like it's good. I'm not a big spice person. I don't like a lot of Indian food. I don't like a lot of curry, but I actually really enjoy this dish. So let's get started. Starting off with this recipe, you're going to need chicken. So I have 2 pounds of boneless, skinless, thin chicken breast. It's you can use skin if you want. You can do thighs. I've done this recipe with thighs before. It's really whatever you have. If you have super thin breast, it will burn. So you have to have like kind of a good thickness. Like these are not super thick, but they're not super thin. So this is organic chicken, and it's boneless, skinless. So you start off with 2 pounds of chicken, and you're just going to put this in your slow cooker. You do not need oil or anything like that in the bottom of the pan. And you're just going to layer. And it's okay, obviously, if they overlap. It's all going to be cooked. And then I just take, again, my pink Himalayan sea salt, and I just sprinkle it over the chicken and some pepper. Okay? And that is the start of the chicken. So basically, now we're going to make the sauce, and you literally just mix it all in a blender and pour it in and put it on, and that's it, and you're ready to go. So let's go make the sauce. So this is the sauce for the coconut curry chicken dish. So once you put the chicken in the slow cooker, put some salt and pepper. I make this super simple. It's just absolutely delicious. So I start off with 1 can of full fat coconut milk. If it's light, it's not going to be as creamy or as good. So full fat coconut milk, I think it's 13.5 ounces can. So I put that in the blender, and this recipe again is one of our weekly food preps. It's so easy. It literally takes me 10 minutes and it's delicious. So then I have the juice of 2 limes. So I just add that. I have probably about a cup of fresh basil, maybe a cup and a half. They have containers at the grocery store, so I just use 1 full container. But if you have like your own plant or something like that, it's probably going to be like a cup and a half of basil leaves. And you don't have to chop anything. This is the beauty of this recipe. You literally just shove everything in the blender. So it's very simple. And then I have 3 whole garlic cloves and a teaspoon of minced ginger. Now the minced ginger you can do fresh. at the health food store, they do have minced ginger in a container. So I just purchased that because it's just less work to do that. So I just use a teaspoon of the fresh ginger, and that goes in there. I also do some of my pink Himalayan sea salt. I do about half a teaspoon. Same with the black pepper. And then you are going to take some spices. So you are going to do a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of curry. Now, I am not a big curry person at all. I do not like spicy food, but this is very mild and it just has a really wonderful flavor. And then you're gonna do 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric. So now that the top is on, this is basically your sauce for the chicken. So now I just put it on puree and it will liquefy. So you basically blend it until it is all smooth and combined. It's about a minute. And that's it. And that's what it looks like. And you are going to pour that over your chicken in the slow cooker. And that's it. This is the sauce that we made. And basically you are just going to pour a even coat all over the chicken. Okay. And that is it. You put the lid on. Now you can put it on high or low, low being 8 hours and high being 4 hours cook time. So if you are working, you can leave it on, make it in the morning and have it for dinner when you get home. Or if you want it quickly, you can make it in the afternoon and have it for dinner, whatever you want to do. That is the beauty with the slow cooker, that you can just walk away. You don't have to worry about anything. So I absolutely love my slow cooker. So this recipe is so delicious. You can do starches with it. Typically we do quinoa or we do cauliflower rice. I have done this with polenta. That also works really nicely. But you cannot half-ass polenta. It is what it is. Like, you have to have the cheese and the milk and the cream and the butter. You just can't have coconut milk polenta. It's just not gonna happen. So that's blasphemy in my house. So I will not ever half-ass polenta. So this type of thing would be good with brown rice too. You can do white rice, pasta, whatever you want as your starch. But like I said, we do either cauliflower rice or quinoa. They are the healthier options for this dish. Okay, so with the basil coconut curry chicken dish, we typically like to do quinoa or cauliflower rice. So today I'm going to show you how we do quinoa. It's a really nice grain, really healthy, really good for you. So like I said before, like, we couldn't do grains for a very long time. So when this got added back into our diet, it was heavenly. So we are going to make quinoa. So basically I have 2 cups of chicken stock. You can do water. I use water a lot of times, but I feel like the stock too, it just gives you way more flavor. And I prefer chicken stock over broth because of that reason. It gives you way more flavor. So I always cook with chicken stock, never broth. But if you are watching your salt intake, make sure you read the labels, because a lot of times the stock will have more salt than the broth. So, but me being a saltaholic, I like this. So let's get started. So you're going to put your stove on high. You're going to put the 2 cups of chicken stock in, and basically you're just going to bring this to a boil and add 1 cup of quinoa. So basically this is like cooking rice or polenta or anything like that, it's usually a 2-to-1 ratio. So it's always going to be like 2 cups of liquid to 1 cup, you know, of what you're trying to do. So this makes a nice amount. If you are trying to do food prep for an entire week, you may need to double it. You know, this is a couple days worth. It's really not that much, but it's a really nice grain. And again, I said with this dish, you can do rice, you can do polenta, you can do pasta, whatever you want to do. But this is one of our favorites. I think it just goes really well with the chicken. So, and I also add some more salt just to make it even more salty into the stock. And you're just going to have that come to a rolling boil, and then you add your quinoa. All right, so now that we are at a boil, we are going to go ahead and add the 1 cup of quinoa. And I'm just gonna stir that briefly. And then you are going to put a lid on it and turn the heat down. You do not want this in a major boil. You just want this like as a simmer, and then it will puff up and all the liquid will get absorbed like rice, and then it'll be done. As soon as all the liquid is gone and absorbed, that's when you know that it's ready. It usually takes about 20 to 25 minutes, depending again on the temperature and how much you're doing. So this will take about 20 to 25 minutes. So when it is done, I will show you the finished product, what it looks like, and then when the curry chicken is done, I will show you the plate all together. All right, so when your quinoa looks like this, where there's no more liquid, and you see how it puffs up, it's complete. So just put it into this bowl here. And the cool thing about quinoa is you can have it hot or cold. My daughter absolutely loves quinoa with milk or coconut milk or anything like that. And you put some cinnamon and some stevia. She goes nuts for it. It's like cereal. So quinoa is really, really useful, and it's really delicious and really healthy. I will be doing some recipes with quinoa like as the main ingredient. I have some really cool things for that, some breakfast bakes and everything. So, but this is basically the base for the curry chicken that we do. And yeah, so when the curry chicken is done, I will show you this all together and how yummy it looks. All right, so our 4 hours is up. For me personally, I like to do the 4 hours. So the setting would be on high for that, but you certainly can do it for the 8 hours on the low setting. I just like to get it done. So now that it is done, take that off, and this is what it's going to look like. It's very green, very weird looking, but the chicken just melts. It just pulls right apart. It's so tender, so juicy, and so that's what it looks like. So for me, I take a scoop of quinoa, and then I will take chicken. So you can take some of the liquid and you can pour it onto the quinoa like that. And there you have it. You can see how tender it is. It literally just breaks apart. Definitely don't need a knife with this meal. And I like to just mix it all. And that's it. This is the basil coconut curry chicken, slow cooked for 4 hours, made quinoa on the side, and that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in to our channel, and we will be back again soon. I will again put the recipe down below. Feel free to make it. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you've added. I always like to hear new things. Click to subscribe if you like what I'm making, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.